Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another Bearded Dragon video. Today, we're going to be bringing you a lighting and temperature guide for your Bearded Dragon. Regal's chilling in his little vegetable food ball right now. He just had lunch. He had some crickets. You can see a few lingering in the back there that he didn't eat. He'll get those later. So he's just chilling right now, digesting and whatnot. And what is the main thing that helps bearded dragons digest? And that is the heat and the lighting. So it's very important that you have the proper heat and lighting for your bearded dragon because, like I said, the heat is what helps them digest. The hotter the tank, the faster they'll digest. The more healthy it is for them. If your tank is not hot enough, they're going to have problems digesting. They're also going to have problems eating. It needs to be hot for them to eat. And your bearded dragon is also going to be very lethargic and lazy and isn't going to be moving around if it's too cold in your tank. So the lighting and the heat is key. Now, what do you need to... You see Regal's really looking at me like what the hell is going on because I'm talking to the glass. So what do you need in order to have the proper setup? Well, first, Regal's coming to follow. Come on, bud, come up here. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need is a thermometer. This is a ZooMed thermometer. It's the digital thermometer with the probe on the end. Don't get those sticky things that stick onto the inside of the tank. They don't work and they're not accurate. You'll want to use a digital thermometer with a probe like this. You can see the probe down there in the bottom. And these will give you a good reading. Now, as you can see, my tank right here in this portion is 86.5. I'll explain exactly what you want when I get to each section. So, the basking spot. This is Regal's basking spot. This is where he usually goes to absorb all his heat. You're going to want this to be about 100 to 110 degrees when they're young. And then when they're older, it could be like 95 degrees. But you're going to want to keep this spot exactly at about 100 to 110 degrees. Then, as you can see right here, this spot, which is like the hot side of the tank, but it's not right under the basking spot. So literally in your tank it's going to be set up like this. You're going to want the basking spot with the lamp right under it. You're going to want to make sure it's 100 to 110 degrees here. Then on the opposite side of the hot side, you're going to want it to be anywhere from like 85 to 90 degrees. So you can see I'm at 86.5. So make sure that not directly under the basking area, but across from it. It's going to want to be 85 to 90 degrees. And then the cool side of the tank, hey Regal, which is all the way over here, you're going to want it to be about 75 to 80 degrees. So that's the temperature gradients. So you want 100 to 110 under the basking, 85 to 90 on the warm side, and 75 to 80 around on the cool side. As far as lighting goes, you have the UVB light and the two heat lamps. You're gonna want to go with a good UVB lamp. Now, the tubes. So there's two different types of UVB lights. Okay. Now let me just turn this off for a sec so I can flip it upside down. So this is the UVB bulb. Okay. This one is a T8. Okay. Now there's two types. This is a tube bulb. As you can see, it's like a giant tube. Okay. See the bulb? Now there are some UVB bulbs that are not tubes. They're just one bulb like this. It's a coil bulb. Now, if you want to go with that type of UVB bulb, listen very carefully to this. You have to make sure that the UVB bulb is aiming at a spot that your dragon stays in for long periods of time throughout the day. Usually, in an ideal situation, you're going to want a UVB tube that extends from one side of the tank all the way to the other side of the tank. This way, wherever your dragon is, they're going to be getting UVB rays. Now, the reason why I have this small one is because when I upgraded my tank, I wasn't ready to go and spend money on the upgraded bulb yet, which will be coming soon in a few months when this bulb runs out. But because Regal only stays on this side of the tank really for most of the time, I was able to keep the UVB bulb like this, extending just in this area of the tank, as you could see. So that's the whole UVB thing. Go with the tube. It's the most safe option. It'll ensure that your bearded dragon is always getting those UVB rays. But if you want to go with the coil, make sure you have it aiming at a spot that the dragon is in at all times. Now that we have that cleared up, we can talk about the heat lamps. The heat lamps are going to range from about 50 watts to 150 usually. Obviously, depending on how big your tank is, how long the space is from the basking spot to the lamp is going to be how hot you want your lamp. Now, I have Regal in a 40-gallon breeder tank, so if you guys want to go off of this size, if you have a 40-gallon, I have a 150 watt heat lamp here for the basking spot, which keeps it at about 108 degrees right under the lamp, and then around 86 to 90 depending on if I'm lifting, if I have to feed him and take him out a few times, I'll be lifting the tank cover and stuff, and the temperature will go down a little bit. If I go a few hours without lifting the top, it'll go up to about 90 degrees over here. As long as it stays about 85 to 90 on the hot side of the tank, you will be fine. So I have a 150 watt heat lamp here, and then just so this side doesn't get too cool, I have my old 100 watt heat lamp over here in the middle, and then I have a little another rock just in case it's ever too hot for him to bask over there. He can go over there and maybe get a little bit of a cooler temperature. So that's pretty much the basic setup. You want a UVB bulb so that they could get their UVB rays, which is like natural sunlight, and you want the heat lamp, which is going to give them their heat. And as long as you make sure that you have your bearded dragon stays under the UVB bulb for a substantial amount of the day, you should be totally fine. Just remember, 100 to 110 on the basking side, 85 to 90 on the hot side, and around 75 to 80 degrees all the way on that other side, on the cool side of the tank. And that should get you on your way to growing up a healthy bearded dragon. Right, Regal? Yeah. Alright, so I hope this video helped you guys out. Make sure to subscribe if you want more. Make sure to go check us out on Instagram if you want more Regal content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Say bye, Regal.